Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, there's been a lot of interest in this Lionel 33, that's for sure. Anyway, I was doing lots of experiments with this, trying to find some way to replace that motor that was in this. And I've come up with a solution that actually works. So, first things first, I had to remove the motor from the frame, from the 33, of course. And one of the major problems was of trying to repower this was the wheels, of course, go through these holes in the frame, and the intermediate gear went through the center of these two plates. A long bolt went through and was held on this side with a nut. So I had to replace that. So what I did was I opened the hole in the center of the intermediate gear and I mounted it directly to the plate with a brass screw and then peened it over on the inside. So the intermediate gear is captive and that screw can no longer vibrate out. It's completely captive. It'll be in there forever. So what I've done was I built a Marx motor out of parts. As you can see, this was just assembled out of some junk that I had in the junk box. In any case, the armature, if you notice, has an exceptionally long gear. Now I got that Marx Santa Fe that was eaten alive with rust, and this was one of the parts that I was able to scavenge out of it, was the armature itself. And since it had this long gear on it, I didn't know what I was going to be doing with it. I could use it in a standard motor, but I thought this would be the perfect replacement for a motor for this 33, because I could just mount it like this. Now, the interesting thing about this Marx motor is that the gearing is exactly the same size on the Marx motor as it is on this intermediate gear for the 33. So, watch this. So, we'll just drop the wheels into the frame. Now, these are geared, as you see. Whoops. There we go. As you see. So, I'm going to mount the motor just like this. Now I've got the motor connected to a foot pedal off a sewing machine so I can test it. And as you see, this works absolutely perfectly. So I found a way to repower the original gearing using a Marx motor. So now I have to make a motor mount for this motor, mount it into the frame, and I have repowered the Lionel 33. And if I put an E unit in this, I'll have forward and reverse. But as you see, this works rather well. It's really simple, straightforward, and repeatable. That's the nice thing about it. So I just have to make a motor mount. So very likely what I will do is mount this motor with a couple of screws. I'll get this lined up, clamp it in position, drill a couple of holes through the side plates, and actually mount this motor just like that. Or something similar, I'm not sure yet. I could just mount it down here on the inside of the frame. So I'm not really sure yet how I'm going to do this. It's just a matter of getting everything finalized and lined up. But as you see, it works. That's the neat thing about it. Now, there are no wheel bearings on the 33. It's just holes in the frame that the axles go through. So I need to get this oiled up, of course. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video so you can see this. This actually works quite well. And once I get it adjusted and mounted, I will have a brand new, reasonably modern motor in this Lionel 33. And of course, it's still standard gauge. I didn't have to change the wheels or turn it into an O-gauge locomotive. So as you see, this is going to work rather well. It's straightforward, it's simple, it's easy to do, that being a relative term, of course. And the nice thing about it is that you have a reasonably modern motor, and from the outside, once the body's on this, you'll never know the motor's been changed. But as you see, this works extremely well. It's straightforward, it works, it's simple, it's cheap, it's easy. So anyway, I just want to do a quick video to show you what I've been up to. Took a couple hours to come up with this, but it works. There's no doubt about that. So all I have to do now is mount this motor, and the Lionel 33 is back up and running. And as you see, it's going to run just absolutely perfectly. And like I said, if I put an E unit in this, it'll have forward and reverse. This works really, really well. So I'm using this pedal off a sewing machine because I need both hands, of course, to do this. And it gives you a lot of control over the speed, as you see. This works. It works really well. It's straightforward and it's simple. That's the neat thing about it. As you see, it works. It works really, really well. So anyway, a new motor built specifically for the 33. I had to remount the intermediate gear, so it was captive on the frame without a bolt going through, because with a bolt going through, you can't mount the motor in the middle. And there's more than enough room with the axles in place for that motor, that Marx motor, to mount in there. So I'll come up with the motor mount, and I will very likely get a section of track of some kind and run this with the new motor in it. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video to update the experiments on this 33. It's pretty straightforward. And to do this, of course, I just drilled this hole out, tapped it 632, opened the hole in the gear, put a 632 brass screw in there, tightened it down, and then peened it over on this side so it can't back out. So as you see, it's captive. Just keep this thing oiled, and this is going to work extremely well. Of course, once the wheels are on the other side, it'll be a lot more balanced. I'll get it oiled up, and it's going to run extremely well. The neat thing about it, of course, is the fact that it works. It works really, really well. A really simple solution for repowering a Lionel 33. Anyway, I just want to do a quick video on this. It works, it's simple, pretty much straightforward, and fortunately I had this armature that I could mount in this motor. As you see, it's just made out of parts. But it works, that's the neat thing about it. So now I will get the motor mounted, and it'll actually be ready to run. So I just want to do a quick video on this. It's straightforward, it's simple, it has a modern motor. Best of all, of course, is the fact that it works. It works absolutely perfectly. So I just want to do a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.